5. Entering the Academy Part 2. 2 hours passed. Muscle transfer complete. Deactivating anesthesia. With a sharp jolt, Yeowoon's eyes flew open. He gasped for breath, his body trembling slightly. The memory of the unbearable pain he had endured right before losing consciousness made him shudder. I'm never trying that again. I warned you, Master. Yeah. It had been Yeowoon's decision to try it, after all. He slowly got up from the bed, his limbs still adjusting to the changes, and walked to the center of the room. It was time to test the dagger technique. This shouldn't hurt now, right? Through the simulation, you now have the same muscles as the ones that practiced the movements for 20 years. Good. Yeowoon took his stance, focused, and began swinging the dagger. The improvement was obvious. His movements were now sharp and precise, carrying a weight and control they hadn't before. As he stomped forward into the next step, a loud thud echoed under his feet. No. Yeowoon halted, looking down in alarm. There, clearly visible on the wooden floor, was the mark of his footprint. This is bad, he panicked. If Jang saw this, he might question it. It leaves footprints even without internal energy. As he tried pressing down on the wooden floor to erase the mark, a knock came at the door. Prince, your breakfast is ready. It was Jang. Yeowoon rushed, still trying to hide the footprint, but it was no use. The door opened and Jang stepped inside. Prince? Oh, haha, I'm so hungry. Yeowoon hurriedly pulled the table from near the window to the center of the room and sat down quickly. Don't you always eat by the window? Jang asked, raising an eyebrow. Yeah, but I won't be returning for a while, so I thought I'd change things up. Jang didn't say anything. He simply placed the breakfast on the table. Yeowoon looked at the food, baked pig meat, fried vegetables, and the eggs he loved. It wasn't a noble feast, but to Yeowoon it was lavish. He understood. This was Jang's silent gesture of kindness, a final meal for someone who might not return. He picked up the chopsticks, and tears welled in his eyes. Strong emotions contributing to acid coming up the throat, increasing saliva level. Please swallow the food with saliva to calm down the acid. Stop saying weird things and shut up. Going into silent mode. The voice in his head disappeared. Yeowoon swallowed the food carefully. He couldn't waste a single bite. The breakfast continued in quiet. Then Jang spoke, breaking the silence. When did you He couldn't bring himself to say the word steal. Learn my dagger skill. What are you talking about? Yeowoon flinched, caught off guard. Jang stepped forward, pushed the table aside, and pointed at the floor. I wasn't wrong. There it was, the footprint, unmistakable. It was the stomp used in the second formation of Jang's dagger technique. Yeowoon couldn't say anything. Even if he hadn't directly copied Jang, the Nano Machine had allowed him to steal it. It was a violation. A shameful one. He lowered his gaze. I. Jang knelt down in front of him, his voice softer than ever. You did a good job. I am your guard, Prince. If it wasn't for the oath I swore, I would have taught you my skills already. Tears welled up in Yeowoon's eyes again. Jang had been more of a father to him than his own father ever was. Jang then pulled out a folded paper filled with handwritten text and handed it to Yeowoon. What's this? It's an energy flow method for the internal energy of the dagger skill. Why are you giving this to me? I'd love to teach you a full method on how to train internal energy, but you'll find a better one at the academy. Learn it. Yeowoon began crying silently. He had promised himself never to cry after his mother's death, but he was still a boy. Jang stood up, picked up the empty plates, and walked toward the door. He paused before leaving. You can cry today, but you'll need to be stronger from now on. Thank you. Yeowoon wiped the tears from his face. He felt no fear now, no hesitation. Even without his mother, he had someone who cared for him, a place to return to. Later that afternoon, the streets near the demonic cult's castle buzzed with excitement. The opening ceremony for the demonic academy was about to begin. Boys between the ages of 14 and 19 from every family and clan of the cult were gathering. Thousands of students stood in the great training ground, which lay just past the academy's gates. The field was massive, easily fitting all the students. There was nervous anticipation in the air. Everyone was hoping to catch a glimpse of the Lord, who would be attending the ceremony. Look, it's the Left Guardian. If he's here, the Lord will arrive soon. I'll get to see his face for the first time. From the side of the giant stage, a tall man with long red hair emerged, gazing down at the gathered children with a scoff. Fools. We only have fools this time. Or it might be the last time. It was Fire King Lee Hwa-myung, the Left Guardian, one of the Lord's 3 personal guardians. The Great Guardian, Left Guardian, and Right Guardian were the most powerful and loyal figures within the demonic cult. They only moved at the Lord's command and were ranked among the top 10 warriors in the cult. Hwa-myung's eyes scanned the front of the crowd. Are those the heirs from the 6 clans? There, standing arrogantly at the front, were 6 boys. Unlike the others who had white tags with black numbers, these boys wore black tags with red numbers, marks of the future heirs to the cult. 1. Cheon Yeo-woon, Dark Clan. 2. Cheon Yeo Woon, Sword Clan. 3. Cheon Moo-keum, Spring Clan. 4. Cheon Jong-sum, Poison Clan. 5. Cheon Yu-chan, Blade Clan. 6. Cheon Won-ryu, Sound Clan. They didn't act like the other children. They stood with pride, their presence loud and overbearing. They are quite something. As kids, Hwa-myung thought to himself. He recognized them easily. Even though there was only one girl candidate this time, and she stood among them, he didn't care much. He looked around once more. Everyone else is here, but I don't see him.